We now move to Zone 2A. We have excuse for absence from Zone Chairpersons, Lion Vanessa Reimer. Her report, we were advised, it's on its way. We move swiftly to the next zone, which is Zone 2B. Lion Merlin Scamini. Scamini, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Governor and distinguished Lions and audience. I will give the report of Zone 2B. The number of clubs that we have in our zone is the 4 clubs we have, the Ceiba, Anguilla, St. Martin, and St. Eustatius. The total amount of membership is 135. Total loss, 2 from Ceiba. The Leo clubs that we have is from the respective islands, Anguilla, St. Martin, and Ceiba. The financial status of the clubs, all dues are paid. Everything is settled with the exception of St. Eustatius. The forms that, the PO 101 forms, all are submitted with the exception of 1 club, the one from St. Eustatius. The goals of the clubs is from Anguilla. Anguilla want to work on increasing the number of quality members and encourage teamwork. Through training, improve the club's image within the community they serve, strengthen the club service projects, and encourage partnership with the key stakeholders in the areas of youth, social, and health services, improve the club fundraising strategies. Ceiba will continue working on their signature project, Meal on Wheels, and the focus areas remain the youth culture, elderly health and wellness, inclusive vision, and HIV/AIDS, environment and institution strengthening. For St. Martin's Club, they also will continue to their signature project, alcohol and drug awareness among the youth. We'll focus this year also on the 45th anniversary, and will remain focused on the 4 core areas, which are the youth culture and education, elderly health and wellness, and environment. Concerning the strengths and weaknesses of the clubs, I have not received sufficient information about that, which I cannot base my assessment on, but I will do that in the next cabinet meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zone Chair Lion Marlene, for the report of your zone. We move swiftly into Zone 2C, Lion Leslie Salmon, Melvin Jones Fellow. Thank you.
Lion District Governor, distinguished members of the head table, Lions, Leos. District 2C has 4 clubs. Zone 2C, sorry, has 4 clubs. Antigua, Dominica, Montserrat, and St. Kitts. We have a total membership of 128, broken down as follows. Antigua 46, Dominica 32, Montserrat 13, and St. Kitts 37. I got reports from the Antigua Leo Club, the Omega Club. I have to confirm with the CABSEC some information on the other Leo clubs in the zone. The financial status in regards to outstanding district and international dues, to my understanding so far, is good. I have not received some feedback from some emails I sent off. This will be, but from the feedback I got, those that have pending invoices said they will settle by this meeting, and 1 club gave me a draft which I just turned over to the Cabinet Sec Treasurer. I will then follow up before the end of this meeting on the financial status and give a follow-up report, Lion District Governor. All clubs in the zone are active and have ongoing sustainable projects. Some of note are Dominica has been donating graduation gifts and materials for the past 3 years to the Canefields preschool. 26 students were affected this year. They also recently assisted a family of 3 that lost their home by fire with food and toiletries. St. Kitts has some medical challenges with their key officers, so they have not been as active as they would like to be, but they plan to implement in the near future the Message in the Bottle project, hospital visits, and conduct in-house training for Leos facilitated by a past district governor. Montserrat has an ongoing feeding program for elderly persons in the community. Antigua Lions Club visited the Clearview Psychiatric Hospital and provided socialized and entertainment and provided cheer. This project has been ongoing for the past 30 years and it is now done quarterly. 130 patients were impacted. The Antigua Club recently conducted a prostate screening project. This has been organized for the past 9 years. This year, it impacted 710 men and has been hailed as one of the most successful projects of this type in the world. A group of international observers from the 21st Century Oncology Group attended the screening with a view to report its success, or with a view to repeat its success in other regions of the world. I intend to work on visiting all of the clubs in my zone shortly and remind all presidents of the SMART principle: specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic time-bound goals. We will be having our first zone meeting in September and details will be provided shortly. I intend to focus on increasing membership by at least 5%, work on retaining members, increase communication between the clubs and the district, promote the use of the Lionistic Learning Center, and identify the strengths and weaknesses of the club in the zone and develop accordingly. Thanks for listening to me. I wish all Lions and Leos safe travels home and wish that the storm does not affect you adversely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zone Chairman Leslie Solomon. When you spoke of the prostate screen, I must commend and congratulate the Antigua Lions Club for such a successful project. It indicates that the men in Antigua, they have gotten braver. For those who know what a prostate screen entails. Thank you. We move right on to Region 3. We move with Zone 3A, line Roger Padmore.
Lion District Governor, Lion Marvin Grant, Melvin Jones Feller, other distinguished Lions at the head table and in the audience, Leos, my fellow Lions. I'm pleased to report on the status of the clubs of Zone 3A in accordance with the format so requested by you, Lion District Governor. Zone 3A represents the clubs in Barbados and comprises 8 Lions clubs and 2 Leo clubs. At this point in time, I would like to mention that on August the 5th, 2015, the Lions Club of Scotland District received a charter for an Alpha Leo Club to commence at the Allen School in Barbados. This process commenced in the last Lionistic year and has now come to fruition. So I think I will correct my number to say we have 3 Leo clubs in Barbados. The total membership to date in the Lions Club stands at 274 Lions, and this represents neither loss or gained at the beginning of the Hellenistic year. Dues to international. All clubs in the zone are in receipt of the half-year billing from international, are in the process of making payments. Some clubs are still, however, going through the process of changing signatures at the bank, and we all know it was discussed earlier in our meetings that this has been proven to be a very tedious task as far as the exercise at the banks are concerned. I don't know if our immediate past can shed any light or assist us in speeding up these processes. Dues to sub-district. All clubs are in receipt of their half-year invoices, and I'm assured that settlement of the same will be completed shortly. A similar situation obtains with some of the clubs, as mentioned before, having to change the signatories on the bank accounts. All clubs have submitted their PU 101 forms to the international and district. And in keeping with the club goals, your team, Lion District Governor, for the Hellenistic year, the clubs of Zone 3 have adopted the team and their goals, and they have already put planning meetings in place. They're prepared for their project executions for this Hellenistic year, and are continuing with their sustainable projects, which each club is known for, and some of their signature projects, which they've been carrying out throughout the years. They've already started planning. Some club presidents have also benefited from the webinars, which are being hosted by LCI, and they've started to pass on the knowledge and information gained to their clubs. A synopsis of the strengths and weaknesses of the clubs and the action plans. Lion District Governor, it is early days yet, but some clubs have already taken on the task of Acts 1. This is in an effort to increase the membership in the clubs. I'm happy to report that I've visited 6 out of the 8 Lions clubs so far in the zone at their regular meetings. And although these were unofficial visits, I intend to pay my official visits to all the clubs commencing in September. And I will do all 8 clubs in the month of September. So an invitation to you, Lion District Governor, you can come over to Zone 3A in September and incorporate your official visits at that point in time. It is my desire, Lion District Governor, for all the clubs of Zone 3A to have an active e-clubhouse website. Today, 50% of these clubs carry the e-clubhouse website, and challenge the other clubs to so follow their example. To be in contact with my presidents and secretaries, I have set up a Google group for emails to be sent out and received. This allows for information dissemination, reaching them all at the same time. I've also formed a WhatsApp group for the presidents to allow instantaneous contact, where urgently required information can be sent, and I've instructed, and those of you who would have been at the workshop held by Lion Malcolm would have heard some of these things coming out, but my report was done prior to that. But I've instructed the clubs to keep the information posted to Lionism and not spam. Lion District Governor, I find that the transition of administration is not often as smooth as one would have thought. And as such, I will be conducting a workshop which I intend to include in my official visits to illustrate to the general membership who may become future club leaders the proper way of completing the forms for submission, how they can log in and sign in, because most of the stuff is now being done electronically. And this should go a long way in improving the reporting in the zone. I recognize that technology is not always kind to some of us. And instead of asking for assistance, I find that some of us just refuse to carry out the tasks which we have took the obligation to do. Lion District Governor, I think that Zone 3A generally is active, and I will make every effort to take a stand and make it right through service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zone Chair Lion Roger. I want to congratulate you for the work you're doing with your zone.